train the other night. I gotta turn my notifications off, but I'm not gonna do this right now. Yeah, so this is about something that happened on the train the other night. I'm pretty much just going home from work, right? And I'm walking, and I see this lady as I'm coming in, right? And I say to myself, okay, that lady's sitting there. You know, I'm not really thinking much of it as the lady's sitting there. And I'm going towards the train, you know, swipe my Metro card and stuff like that. And I keep walking. So I said, okay, the lady's sitting there. Obviously, she's probably homeless. That's a sad situation. And I keep walking. So as I keep walking, I happen to look back over to the right. And I see the lady sitting there with the sign or whatever saying she needs food or help or something like that. And then I see a child laying next to her. And as I'm walking, I'm like stopping, I'm paused, I keep going, and I keep walking down the stairs. And as I'm walking down the stairs, I say to myself, you know, am I effed up? You know, I'm not gonna curse here. What's going on? What's going on, Shane? What's going on, Mrs. P? I say to myself, am I effed up for not stopping and at least giving it more attention? Because sometimes when you on you know, in the streets moving out and about and whatnot, people use their children as a means to try to get money and stuff like that. And I pause for a second because I'm thinking to myself, wow, should I have done more? Should I have walked over to the person? Because, you know, people scam. I've seen it. And it just bothered me because, you know, I guess of the fact that there was a child there. You know, I'm not saying I like homelessness and it's okay for somebody to be homeless or whatever the case. What's up, Roundorf? What's up, Christine? What's up, Pixie's channel? But it just gave me this thing about the desensitization. Sometimes, you know, how desensitized we can become as people. Yeah, it's true you can't help everybody, but sometimes when you walk past a person and you see them there and, you know, they're there with the child didn't ask to be in the train station. The child didn't ask to be in that particular situation. The child didn't ask to be, you know, used as a pawn if that was the case. You know, all these ethical questions come through my mind at the same time. It's like, you know, was it the right thing to do to keep walking? Should I have stopped? What could I have done? You know, would I have brought the child home with me? Then if you bring the child home, then there's the mother. You know, where were the cops in the midst of that situation? Yeah, it is easy to become desensitized. It is. It definitely is, you know, in this world. You know, but I just said, am I effed up? You know, like I said, am I effed up for keeping it moving? You know, some of you in the chat said no. But even if it wasn't messed up for me to keep walking, it just didn't feel right. It really didn't feel right, you know, when I kept walking. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, what could I have done? What could I have possibly attributed to that situation? So I'm saying, am I effed up? Because, you know, I kept walking, I kept it moving when I seen somebody sitting there, you know, who are obviously in some kind of dire straits. But then I've seen the flip side of that. You know, you out there with your child, which is unsafe in the New York City public's transit system. Hello, Rusty Faith. You know, trying to you know, beg for money. It just brings up so many different ethical questions and whatnot. And then I say even to myself, I mean, as a matter of conscience, because I saw the lady. Once I saw the lady, I was like, all right, fine, I get it. You know, you begging for money, you sitting there on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, because literally she was sitting there, but I didn't see the child. So as I walked past, something told me, just look back. You know, just look back, see what this lady, read the sign of what the lady is saying. I look back and I see the child laid out like this, you know, just laid out. And I'm like, I don't know. What's up, Uncle Dan? What's up, Uncle Dan? How you doing? Rusty Faith, everybody else that came through to the chat, Shane, everybody. And it just asked me, I asked myself the question, say, am I effed up, you know, for just keeping it moving? You know, am I that desensitized to the situation, to the plight of the homeless, or to just what you see? Because on the New York City transit system, we see a lot of different things. For the New Yorkers that are on the chat, for the people out there that live in metropolitan cities. What's up, James Bang? I see you out there. You know, for those folks that are out there, you see a lot of things out there. And then when it comes to the homelessness and, you know, the different people that are in trouble, the different people that are in dire straits, and sometimes you can become desensitized to it because there's a lot of people that game the system, you know, on both ends. The people who are supposedly giving out, you know, alleged aid, and those folks that are looking for help. You know, I mean, there's one guy whose daughter Genesis has been 6 years old for the last 4 or 5 years. No, I mean, I get you, Christine, but it does bring the question. It's like, because one thing that happened in the midst of that, what's up, ED Adventures? A lady, as I was looking at this and moving past, a lady had stopped and gave the person money. And I remember thinking to myself, as the person gave the lady money, because it was another lady that gave money to the lady with her child, I was thinking that the money is not enough. So if I stop and give this lady money, right, what happens next? You know, you still there. You know what I'm saying? Even if I said, okay, here's my check, you know, you're still there. How long is the check gonna last? And then I have to remember that sometimes people, you know, want to be on the streets, or sometimes people use their own children, and that bothered me as well. You know, the fact that somebody's using their own child as a way to, you know, get money and stuff like that, and, you know, try to, you know, get people to feel sympathy and whatnot. But it just, you know, it does bother me, you know what I'm saying? So like it bothered me because this happened, like I said, a couple of days ago. So, but, you know, really, what can you do in those situations? So I guess this is one of like those ethical dilemmas and whatnot. You know, yeah, she got a sub. That's what's up. That's what's up. Getting your sub up, check each other out. You know, so it's just really a situation where I don't know. I just asked myself the question. I mean, even if, you know, it may seem like, you know, maybe not. It's just one of those situations where, you know, like I said, things, you know, test you ethically, because for me, it was a child involved. And for those that are just coming in, what I was talking about, was saying the reason I'm asking, am I effed up, is because I was coming home from work the other day and I saw a lady sitting there, and I didn't think much of it as the lady was sitting there, you know, near the turnstile coming in, and I seen her with a sign. I forget what the sign said. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I walked and I saw a child laying there with her, and she had a child out there begging for money, and it hit me. It hit me because I had so many things out there. You said the teen used to be homeless, and yeah. Sorry you had to go through that, but there's a lot of things that happen with the homeless and whatnot. You know, sorry you had an abusive relationship and things like that, Shane. But, you know, unfortunately, there are people out there that use their children to exploit situations and manipulate stuff in order for a way to, you know, get money and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people out there that's scamming when it comes to charitable, you know, giving and people's hearts and stuff like that. And it just bothered me because it's like, you know, if you're gonna, hey, what's up? What's going on, Fort Life? You know, my thing is like, if you're gonna go out there and do your thing, it's like, don't involve your children, you know. But, you know, people have different, you know, viewpoints on, you know, how they're gonna, you know, manipulate other folks' emotions to, you know, get money and stuff like that. And that's one of the things I got from it as well, is that sometimes people will go to no end to try to manipulate folks, you know, in order to get them to feel sorry for you and get money. I mean, Shane. I mean, there's a lot of scammers out there, and like I said, this is just an ethical question, you know, a dilemma. Yeah, it's like, because I honestly said to myself, definitely check out James Bang. He wants somebody to check out his channel. Anybody you like what you see in the comments, or whatever the case may be. If anybody you hear you want to check each other out. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, I was like, what could I really have done? You know, like I said, I really went through the scenarios in my mind. I'm thinking to myself, if I take this person and offer this stranger a place to stay, where was it gonna go? Yeah. I mean, you count your blessings, Brown Dwarf. You do count your blessings. You hope, you know, but at the same time, there's a lot of struggling people out there. There's a lot of broken souls. There's a lot of hurt folks out there, you know, and it reminds you. It really does remind you, you know, what are you about? Wow, what's up, Sugar Cat? I haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully everything's just, it's all good with you. Yeah. You can count your own blessings when you see a situation like that, but so much so is to remind folks that there are other folks out there struggling, and I'm aware that I'm cognizant of that. It's just that sometimes you see things that really, even as a New Yorker, could get you, but then you say to yourself, "Wow, am I so far removed sometimes that when I see things like that, the response is just to keep it moving. Yeah, Shane, thanks for I guess supporting anybody in here. If you haven't subbed up to folks, check each other out. And for those people, who are just watching, lurking in the background, appreciate you. For those folks that give the thumbs up or just commented real quick, I appreciate it. Yeah, I miss you too, Sugar Cat. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you as well. But like I said, that was just one of those things I wanted to share with y'all. There's a lot of negative energy around the world and replication. Yeah, nah, I definitely agree with you, James Bang. I'm doing good, Sugar Cat. Yeah, it's just a situation where, like I say to anybody, don't use your kids, if that's what you're gonna do. But who am I? Like I said, I don't have kids. I can't make anybody not try to manipulate situations with their kids. But it just took me, it just threw me off. And obviously the next night when I came there, the lady wasn't there at the train station and whatnot. But people know, sometimes people know what they're doing. And you just have to be careful, because even if I would have stopped and said, you know what, let me give you some money, it wouldn't have changed nothing. Yeah, nah, I agree with you, Ken. Yeah, you're a human, love the emotions, keep it real. Nah, I appreciate that, Ken. Appreciate that. But sometimes, like I said, things just bring up ethical dilemmas, and you wonder, like how far could it have actually went? How deep could I have actually gone with this scenario? How would it have played out? Because sometimes you really don't know who a person is, that you're trying to help. You don't know if a person is a drug addict. You don't know if a person is gonna, do the right thing. I guess it just requires prayer, or just some kind of I don't know, something else. It was a situation that I saw in the train station that wasn't just a clear cut, black and white situation where you give a person money or you refer a person to a homeless shelter. It was deeper than that, and it really moved me. So I said, let me just share that with you. Any thoughts, any things that people may have, and I don't know. It's just interesting to see the lengths that people will go through to try to manipulate somebody else's emotions or get people to feel sorry for them, and that's where I was with that. Oh, wow, your back hurts digging neighbor's car out the snow. Well, just be careful out there, Uncle Dan. Be careful out there. Don't go too crazy with that. We don't want you to blow your back out digging out the snow. If you got some young ones around you, let those young ones help you out. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. As some of us old timers get older, you know what I'm saying? And you got these young, strong ones that think they know everything. Like I said, you know how to pick up a shovel and get this snow working. You know what I'm saying? Or fix this computer, or clean this house, or do whatever you do. Let the youth earn their keep. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ashamed. I ain't ashamed to have the youth washing the dishes. You ate, you can wash dishes too. But that's a side note. But yeah, if you have any thoughts, any feelings, any comments, any criticisms, like I said, say it in the chat, say it afterwards, or whatever the case may be. But like I said, I just wanted to share. Yeah. You got a lot of youngins that think they know everything, but it happens. Cause think about it, as youngins, all of us that are older, we thought we knew everything at one point too. I mean, like I said, when I was 10, 11, I thought I knew everything. So that's what that is. But then you get older and you realize you didn't know nothing. Yeah, you didn't know nothing. Oh my God. It's like one of the old timers told me. I said, I wish I wasn't that ignorant ever again. James Bang, Noiseville. Yeah, nah, there are fake homeless people out there. They're scammers, James Bang. Nah, yeah, you're not old at 45. You're not old. No, Sugar Cat, you're not old. Yeah, James Bang. But you got to remember, there are people who know how to play up on your emotions. That's one of the things I've learned about people who've been in the system, is that they're very emotionally intelligent. What's up, Buck's Thoughts? I see you out there, Harlem in the house. Harlem. Here we are. Nah, the things that I say about certain people that are in the system, be it foster care, be it shelter, be it domestic violence, whatever it is, there are a lot of people who learn the system, and unfortunately, there are people who are very good at usurping people's emotions, and they're very emotionally intelligent. That's why when you ever go on a train or the bus or the freeway or wherever it may be, and you'll see somebody who knows exactly what to do to get you to respond. Like I'll tell you a quick story. There was this homeless man out here in New York City who would walk around with no shoes on his feet. Now, during the summertime and the springtime, you would see him with shoes on his feet. And, it was nothing. You think nothing of it. He would be fully clothed at some points. But every time around the wintertime, for some reason, this man is walking around with shorts and no shirt. Like one time, I think he had a plastic bag around his waist or something like that, and no shoes. So what happened was there was a cop, NYPD, they're looking out. A cop had actually brought him a pair of boots. And then it was this big news story about how good the cop did and this, that, and the third. And a couple of us folks who knew the guy or knew of the guys saying, yeah, he was scamming. Because right after the cop bought him some boots and got him, these nice boots, no cheap stuff. The guy, for some reason, like I said, I think maybe a couple of months later, was back at it. It was back at it. No boots, or you lost the boots, or whatever happened. And people would buy this man shoes and all kind of stuff. What's going on, Just Us? And he knew that more sympathy would come if you're walking around with no shoes on, if you're walking around with no clothes on, and it's 23 degrees and it's 15 degrees outside. Think about it. If you saw a man walking in the street with no shoes, with barely any clothes on, begging for money, wouldn't you not want to give him something? Wouldn't you not at least stop to think about it? Even if you just, turned him away and said, oh, no, I don't want to deal with that. Wouldn't you not be at least affected by it? So sometimes these folks, they know. Sometimes it's really legit where somebody's really struggling, and the ones that you usually see struggling are the ones that you may see one time and then, hey. Yeah, well, sometimes they're not just, sometimes they're not begging for money, but it's a situation where if a person is really not begging for money or not looking for sympathy, from what I've seen it, they're not constantly trying to make themselves visible. And that's one of the things that I've learned, just from my time working in homeless shelters and dealing with folks. It can get dicey. A person that usually wants help for real, is a person that's gonna say to you, look, can you refer, me to the places where I want to do. Yeah, sometimes if they're talking to themselves, that's one issue of it too, but with that, that's when they probably just, are out there. That's when they're just out there. I mean, but even with folks talking to themselves, they know how to, maneuver themselves to places where they need to be. Yeah, James Bing, emotions can be a powerful tool. And, it's something to say, okay, how far do you give, or how much do you do, or how deeply invested do you get into it? There's some people that are truly sincere. But unfortunately, for every person that appears to be talking to themselves, there's folks that are actually out there just really playing the game. And here in New York City, you see it a lot. Just like with the whole thing with the child. I've seen that before. That's why it threw me for a second. Yeah, some people are liars, unfortunately. I've seen people who, which breaks my heart. I saw a lady one time. I can say what ethnicity she was, but I saw a lady on the train one time. She came on there with her infant child, and she had like a 6-year-old with her, and she had a sign, and she was on the train begging for money. And it struck me because, like I said, you don't want to really expose your kids to that, but you're trying to go for the maximum, impact, by having somebody say, you know what, look, I feel sorry for her, I feel sorry for the kids. Who's going to deny a 1-month-old baby or 3-month-old baby or whatever it is, or in a 6-year-old kid? Yeah, I don't know. It's just an ethical thing, just us. It's really an ethical thing because there's nothing wrong with giving. There's nothing wrong with helping a person out. There's nothing wrong, yeah, but you can't be naive about it. So it's like, that's the balance. And I'm glad you said that. What's going on, Dog Matter? What's going on? What's going on? Hello to you. So that's just the balance. The balance is giving from the heart, but not being naive to the point where you become the doormat. And that was the balance of that story. That was why I chose to say what I said with that. And on that note, I had to actually get ready to get the heck up out of here because I got to go to work. Thank you for everybody for listening and whatnot. Yeah, nah, it's all good. It's all good, Dark. You know, your sexy self. I appreciate you for coming through. I'm actually ending the live stream right now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for stopping by. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Don't forget to watch and reshare this.